So, okay, I started recording. Did you get a chance to review the class and practice a little bit? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we started Selenium. So far, 2 classes gone. And last class, I reviewed different type of locators. So locators will be very important because you need those locators to automate web browsers and web-based applications, and also those will be very important for your interview point of view also. So if you did not actually practice yet, I would suggest just practice them or start practicing actually. So far what we covered on day one, we actually started from scratch, right? We created a project like January 2023 Selenium. And then I actually added a package on day one. And on day one, if you just close all of them. I started, instead of regular Java project, that is a Maven Java project, right? So Maven project has dependencies as I showed you here, right? Uh, I added a dependency about Selenium, and all the libraries are added here. So dependency management or build management options here is as pom.xml is part of Maven, right? So the good side is that anytime any new update, all you have to do, just update the version number and refresh the screen. So the library will be updated accordingly. So that's why going forward, you will be using Maven, because even whenever you go to some company, like for real project or anything, they like all the companies use this Maven, right? And every company maintains some, like for a project, there is a pom.xml, and inside the pom.xml, all the dependencies will be maintained. So you don't have to add manually any library here. So anytime you update dependencies here, the library will be also updated accordingly. So this is a quick process with Maven dependencies. So on week one, right, what we did, we created some test cases, right? Simple test cases, that how it works. So driver concept, that was the first test class, right, we used. So we check that, okay, get title, we are checking that, okay, title is correct or incorrect, right? And we went to google.com and checked, like, for example, if I run this, there is no manual click, right? All I have to do, I have to just start from here. And expectation is it will it will go to first Chrome browser, and then Chrome browser, and then it will open Google. You see that it is going to Chrome browser, it opens Google, and then it will check if the google.com has the title Google or not. You see that the title Google URL is correct and test case passed. So I didn't do anything, I just clicked start. But before you start, right, you have to write some code. That is the Selenium automation actually writing test cases. And whenever you write a test script, line of code, it is just line of code until you have some kind of verification or assertion. Assertion or verification means you are comparing expected against actual, right? So if you see here, right, I'm saying if this title is correct, then pass the test case. That means I am actually comparing expected result, right, against actual. So at this moment, this is a valid test case, because if this Google is not correct, the title comes incorrectly, right? Your test case will fail. For example, right now test case passed, right? So I just put it, instead of Google, I just put some extra ABCD something. So now you see that this is different, right? Now if I run this test case, it will obviously fail, right? Because Google title will not match with this. You will see instead of test case passed, it will be test case failed. You see that now? Test case failed. So this way you will be just comparing expected against actual values or scenarios. So this is a very, very simple one. And the second one we actually covered, we went to basically navigating one URL to another URL using navigate to method. So this is already existing in Selenium, right? You see that you have all the libraries here, right? So you are using basically Selenium already pre-written, right? Existing code here, driver dot navigate to, right? This one already written, we are just using it. And which concept you are using? Remember, we had abstraction, right? And there is a method with no body. Remember, you are just providing the body. And you are just running this with this URL, and it is going to this URL and logging to this URL, Google, and then back to Amazon.com. And if you say, also you can use back and forward method also by using dot. In Selenium, you will be seeing any new method you are using will be used with dot. So anytime you want to type anything, you will write send keys. Anytime you want to click anything, you will be writing that dot click, something like that. You see that? And you want to close this browser, dot close. So all of these, right, already written in this library. Since you already have this library in your pom.xml, you see that you already have these dependencies. This library already added to your project, so you can use anything written in this Selenium version 4.8.3. So if you practice, you will be actually understanding more. So another one we covered on the day one, actually. For example, current URL. If current URL is expected, your test case will pass. Otherwise, it will fail. Or then this is the basic of, okay, introduction to using web element, basically finding web element and using your locators concept, how to add data, right? Because you want to add maybe username, you want to add password, right? Click on login button. You see that all of this is supposed to, okay, if I run this, you will see, I will go to hubspot.com login screen, provide username, password, and login. You see that it actually closing because I added one driver.close. So if you just comment it out, you will see that, okay, it actually added all the values. You see, it gave here, here, and here. So then click on login button. So this was actually first week of summary, and week number 2, like last Sunday, right? We covered all kind of locators. Like this is a big interview questions. How many locators in Selenium when you work with web pages, right? There are 8. You have to basically kind of remember those names. ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS, selector, link text, partial link text, tag name. These are 8 types, and I also showed you how to figure out those locators from using, for example, inspect, right? There is option inspect, and from inspect, all the locators. So this is called DOM, and this is under element. You see that element is not console, is element. So under element tab, all these HTML codes and everything is there. So you will be finding those. For example, you see that ID, and if you review last class, right? So you will be clear about all the locators, actually, how to find the locators and how to use those locators, how to write those locators or customize your XPath. So I will continue little bit about XPath more today also. So that and then I will use another URL or another website to practice little bit more. And maybe today I will introduce one framework. This framework is called Test NG framework. So framework means here, right? Right now, what we are doing, we are just running the test cases, right? But we cannot see that, okay, there are 10 test cases or 10 test class. How many test cases passing or how many test cases failing? You don't know anything here. But when you use the framework, so framework will be coming with those options, right? You can actually see how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, or if you want to create a report to share with your manager or your other teammate, so you will have options. So framework means when we'll come to framework, you will see that, okay, there's a different type of setup. Different type of setup means there are some extra layer of code. And whenever you use framework, right, in the future, you will see you don't need public static void main, because the framework will be always built in with those public static void. So basically, framework will be with actually the framework codes, right? Execution will be coming with this by default. So you don't have to write separately public static void main. But before that, I will practice little bit more about XPath and practice one another website, simple website, so that you know that what is that Selenium actually more, or what is that automation. So let me go to one of the website that we shared last time. Okay, so okay. I think last time we wanted to start another one. So Salesforce login is one of the example that I can actually maybe start now. So Salesforce, you see that Salesforce login? This is another website I'll be using today. And okay, let me create one of the package, another package as Selenium day 3 under main Java. Right click, new. So it's not class, it's a package, right? So I am writing Selenium day 3. So under Selenium day 3, right? I will create a class, and this class will be basically one of your test case. So right click, new, Java class. If you have any question, right, you can ask for clarification or from last class or previous classes. Don't hesitate, or you can always ask questions. So don't feel shy or uncomfortable to ask any question. I can explain. So I'm creating right now class, and since I'm using Salesforce, right? So I can give a name, something like Salesforce login test. Salesforce login test. So this is my new test class, right? So since this is a simple Java, right? What you need? Since this is a simple Java, you need this. Or basically, I'm just copying these 2 lines. So these 2 lines actually you need also, right? So you see that driver. Can somebody tell me why this driver is red? This is a interview question. I just wrote a code, but driver is showing red. Can somebody tell me? Hello, can you hear me actually? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm thinking.
Okay. Ali, you can tell why this driver is red? Because I'm using some variable, right? But there is no reference on this variable. If you see here, right? We say driver here, but I actually said driver is coming from web driver, right, class? So I copied these 2 lines, but now this class saying, I don't know where this driver came from. So you have to say, okay, this driver is actually variable from web driver. You see that? Now this red is gone. So anytime you use any variable, this variable should have a reference, right? That, okay, this driver means this web driver. So now there is no red. So basically, if I run this, right, I will see my expectation will be it is going to log in Salesforce page. If I run this, you see that? Okay, it opens Salesforce. You see that? Salesforce. So my code is working. So what is the test case actually? So there are several test cases. Okay. So first, write a manual testing. So for manual testing, what you do? I am writing a manual testing now. So for manual testing, I'm creating a comment, right? Inside the comment, I will be writing the steps that I will be automate eventually. So what is actually, so you can actually exactly see what is going on manual versus automation. So in manual testing, step 1, right? So in step 1, so what you do is so in step 1, I'm saying go to Chrome browser. That's my step 1. So this is step 1. So what is step 2? Step 2 will be then, okay, type Google, okay, type login Salesforce URL, right? This one. Type in URL tab. Okay. What is step 3? Now, step 3, if you see, okay, if I go to this page, so my step 3 will be make sure that you are on right page. Just all the manual steps I am or verify you are on the correct or correct test page or correct page. All of these just manual steps. Eventually, I will automate those. Step 4, right? What is step 4? So step 4, I'm saying now you verified you are on right page. That means expectation is it is login page, right? So now enter username. Step 5 will be enter password, something like that, right? Enter username. So correct page means login page, right? Just mentioning this. Enter username. So step 5 will be enter password. Step 6. Step 6, when you give username, password, and then click on login button. All of these are kind of manual steps. Now step 7. So I'm writing a test case here, for example. So step 7 will be verify. So, so your ultimate goal is you are basically you are checking a negative scenario, for example, because you are using invalid username or password. You don't have any credential. So I'm just giving checking a negative scenario. So when I say negative scenario, positive scenario, right? Steps, right? Expected, actual. You should be actually familiar with those concepts, right? What is a scenario? What is a test case, right? So for a negative scenario, I am writing a test case. Or you can say, or I can say test case 1 also, because this is one of your test case. So many things you can say about this in the comment section. So at this moment, I'm writing test case 1 and giving all the manual steps that how I will be testing this negative scenario, right? So far login button, and now step 7, what is my expectation? So my expectation, verify expected error message displayed, right? Verify a or an actually error message display on the screen. So this is my expectation, right? I'm giving some username password, and this is a negative scenario. That means username or password, something will be incorrect, not correct. Now, so this is probably another one is, you can say, end-to-end testing if you want to. So sometimes end-to-end validation. So in end-to-end validation, this is, so end-to-end validation, what I gonna do? I will see a error message, right? And what does that mean? That mean I will now I should have an option where a button or a link, right? Forget password or something. So now I want to click on this forget password also. So if I see, now let me check if they have or not. If I'm giving something 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I click login, right? You see that this is a message I am trying to verify. So now I see my password is not correct. Maybe I forgot my password. What I gonna do? I will click on forget password link, right? And now as part of this test case, I have to make sure that, okay, if I click on forget password link, the page is correct. Forget password link page opens. And also there should be some kind of video, like you see that this is another one, like part of scenario. You have to check, okay, this video link is present or not. So what you have to do, you have to make sure that this video link is present, right? And once you can see this video link is present, maybe you can also check, okay, user can click on this video link or not. You see that I can click on this video link or not. So if user can click on this video link, then video opens, and okay. And this video link, you see that you also have to maybe double check, okay, this text is present or not. So if this text is present, okay, your one test case passed. This is your entire end-to-end test case. So now what I gonna do? So let me actually going back. Salesforce login again. Okay. So this is the steps I have to automate, right? So far, I'm just writing the manual steps. So step 8. So in step 8, I am, for example, click on forget password. Remember I said, click on forget password, or yeah, forget password. And step 9. Step 9 will be, you have to verify that you are on forget password page, right? If you click on forget password, there should be a new page, forget password, right? And you have to verify that. If you don't verify, this is not a test case, right? You should have several verification point. When you automate any test case, you have to have several verification point. Okay, this is expected, and you have actual. You have to match, okay, they are actually matching or not, expected against actual. If anything actual is not equal to expected, there is a problem, right? And this is called defect. Okay, verify. You are on forget password page. Now step 10. What is step 10? Manual step. Verify there is a video link present. A video link is present, right, at the bottom of the screen. So this is one of the validation, right? The next one, step 11. Verify. You already verified there is a video link present. Now click on this video link, right? So click on this video link and now verify. Verify the video link title. Remember I said when you click on video link, there is a title, right? Verify, actually, to try step first. So it seems like this test case is getting like too long, right? So it seems like you are actually checking two different pages, right? In automation, right? The target is, ultimate goal is each of these test cases should be independent, should not be depend on each other. So this way, if you think this way, you can actually make this as two different test cases. Right now, I'm writing one test case, but you can actually break it down and write two test cases. One test case will be verify login page. Another test case will be verify forget password page. Okay, so I'm just verify the video link title. And the last since if you verify this, then okay, I say I don't want to continue for now. I want to close the browser. Step 13, close the browser. So once you are in this page, right? This is one test case, and you can also separate last 4 line as a separate test case that verify the forget password page. But I'm just continuing for one page for now. In the future, maybe we will be doing separate page or separate test cases. So anybody did not understand these manual steps. This is manual process, manual testing that you are actually doing. So if you work in some company, they don't use automation. You have to follow this type of steps, just plain English. And this is your user action, right? And against each of user action, you will have one expected column, right? So there are 2 columns you actually observe, right? During beginning of the course. One is what is user action, whatever you are doing. And second column is expected. So if I say go to Chrome browser, then expected will be user should be able to access Chrome browser. Type salesforce.com. The expected will be user should be landing on salesforce.com, right? A screen, home screen of salesforce.com, login should be open, something like that. So you already know those steps, manual process, you know. So now my goal is I am actually doing exactly same thing using Selenium WebDriver and Java. So far, if you see these 2 lines, this step 1 and 2 is done. You see that step 1. You see already step 1 here. This is also, you see already step 2. You already see step 1 and step 2. Now I will do step 3, 4, 5 to 13. So what is my, so I will start writing code now actually. That will be your code for Java. So far step 1 and step 2 done. That means, and step 3, right? Or step 13. What is step 13? If you go here, any locator, anything right here. You see that driver.close. This is actually step 13. That will be. So you can actually, I'm just copying here, or you can just simply write drivers, right? Dot, you see that? Close or quit. You can use both. For now, I'm using close. So driver.close means, okay, Salesforce login page will open. If I, because right now I have only step 1, 2, and step 13. Actually, I see that I'm just counting. So step 13 here. So you have to write other step from step 3 to step 12 also, right? So if I run these, it should be work. Even though this is not a test case at this moment, because we are not testing, we just opening the browser and that's it. You see that test case passed. Test case passed, right? Now I will be adding all other steps. And when I will add all other steps, that means I will be using Selenium WebDriver and Java concept, and also from the last class, locator concept, because we have to figure out different type of locators from this page because we have to figure out username locator, username address, right? Maybe XPath or CSS selector, maybe just ID, whatever is easier for us, right? We'll be just following. Password, login button, right? And then forget password. After forget password, we'll be checking the video link and everything, right? And at the same time, we'll be checking titles also. And if you see title, you have to compare, right? If this title is correct or incorrect, all of this I'll be actually adding now. So for now, actually, this one is just deleting this. Wait. Okay. So go to IntelliJ. So basically, similar process, you can follow some other test website also. And this is the beginning of automation. And after I am done with that, as I said, I will start a simple framework where you can actually see if there is how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed, this type of thing. But first, let me automate this page so that you will have clear understanding on the concept of automation. So step 1, step 2, gone. Step 3, verify you are on the correct page as login page. So that means you are saying, okay, you are saying now driver dot, remember for the title, what we did. For the title, driver dot, right? And then find element, this type of thing. We saw a lot of other thing, right? So anybody, we did this title verification before here on day 1. Driver concept, you see that here. For Google, we checked title also. Driver dot get title. You see that exactly same thing. So for Salesforce login, we'll be doing exactly same thing. Drivers dot, you see that get title. So it will be giving you get title. So now you want to actually display, right? If you want to display this get title, what you have to write? So why this is red? Because you should put some semicolon. Okay, so if you want to check this, then you have to write system dot out, right? Dot println will be showing you. So now this line will not actually display anything, but if you just simply move this line inside the system dot out println, so basically now it will be giving you. Now, if I run this, I should see the title now already. You see that login Salesforce? I already see the title. So right now I just see the title, but I don't know if this is correct or incorrect, right? So you have to write 2 things. You have to basically make sure now step 3 is done, login page, right? Actually, step 3 is not done yet because I said verify you are on the correct page. I just see that, but I have to add some kind of logic, like if else statement, right? So if else statement, if you see here, right? I'm just copying this and I'll show you again. So in the framework, you will see that there are a lot of other options other than if else, like assert, assert true, assert equal, a lot of things. When I move to framework like testng, for example, I will show different options for now. Okay, so this one, um, so everybody see that what I'm just doing here? So anybody has any confusion here? What I just did? So now it is a test case because now I said, okay, login Salesforce title is the expected, right? And my actual is whatever I see during the test case running, right? Execution. And now I'm saying if this test case title is matching with this, then test case passed, otherwise failed. So if I run this, let's see if it passed or failed. Now everybody can see here, this part. Hello?
Yes.
So this way you are just verifying every screen or all the verification point. You have to just check, okay, this is expected, this is actual. Now compare if they pass or fail. So now I can see that, okay, step 3 is done here. So now we are on the right page and I already verified that my title is right. You can also, instead of title, you can also check URL. We also saw this URL before, right? So anything after you just write the dot after driver dot, you will see get title, get URL, and those things, lot of things, lot of option. So now next going to number 4, step 4, enter username. If you go there, now we are going to locate our concept from last class. Right click, inspect. If there is any ID, I will use ID. You see that ID is there? ID is the unique always. So if I didn't have ID, I would check for other thing like name or XPath. For now, just simplifying this, just using ID for now. But you know how to create XPath also. So just Command C. So going there. So enter user ID, right? Okay. So when you enter user name, what do you do? Driver dot find element. Remember you select the option driver, and driver is this driver, right? This is the driver. This is the driver. So this driver is representing your page right now. Dot find element. You see that find element by, and right now there are all 8 types, right? But I'll be using ID. If you see last class, this should be actually crystal clear to you right now, actually. So ID, and I already copied ID, right? And ID will be going inside the double quotation since this is string. And when you find the username, and what is the goal? Goal is give something, right? Right, like I can say Shanto123. Maybe this is my username, right? You can simply write dot. And whenever you write something in input box, it will be send keys. You see that send keys? And give the value. I can say. So this is maybe my username. So step 4 is done. Now step 5. Step 5 is enter password. So this is the exactly process you will be following. When you automate any web browser, you'll be following exactly same thing. Only thing will be framework, right? Different company use different type of framework. The company you are going will be using maybe Cucumber framework. Another company you are going will be using maybe Test ng framework. Another company you are going will be using maybe Serenity BDD framework. So frameworks are different, but writing test cases, writing codes are exactly same thing. We will see this in the future also. So now enter password. So if you want to enter password, same thing, right? You have to figure out, right click on password field, right? And inspect. I can see name is there, ID also there, right? So as I said, names sometimes are not unique, but ID usually they are unique. So going back, same thing, driver dot find element and by ID again, and giving inside the double quotation and dot send keys again, because you are writing something, right? You are giving a value. And any password user ID should go inside the double quotation, even though those are number. Maybe my password is 1234, right? This is maybe my password. And in real life, right? Real life means at real work environment, you will see that you are not giving password like this. Password maybe will be masked. It not gonna be showing, displaying anything when you actually give in the run the test cases. Maybe it will be different code like randomly star asterisk something that basically is not real one. Something will be for security purpose. This password will not be displaying the real value. This one also you will see that, okay. But for some company, they just simply use the test account. QA has their test password, test ID. So simply use this test account. So this is also done. So let me check first if my code, whatever I wrote, like 3-4 line of code, they're working or not. Run, okay. It seems like it worked. It worked, it passed. So far, no issue. So I saw that my user ID and password fields are good. And I also successfully enter my user ID and password. So my next is login button. So login button, right? Check again if login button is, I can inspect or not. Sometimes login button is not ID, something else, CSS selector or XPath maybe. But let's see login button. Okay, so I can see login button also has ID. So I can use ID because ID is usually unique, right? So same thing. So now instead of writing, the option will be click, right? No writing, just click. Click login. Driver dot find element is always find element because this is common process, right? By, I said by ID, right? This part is exactly same. Now dot click. You see that click? That's it. So my step 6 also done, right? Now step 7. Verify and error message displays on the screen. So if you want to verify, right? So similar process, right? You have to go to first, just give something and see. So I'm just randomly just typing, and if I click on login, I should see those error messages, right? So now I inspect those error messages first. So in the error message, you will find something like there is a text. You see the text? The text is matching exactly this. So you can just simply copy this one, right? Command C. So this text, right? This is matching this. Everybody can see, right? There is a text, error message text. So what I will do, I will basically check if this text is present or not, right? And if this is present, that means this is expected, right? So what I'm gonna do, go to IntelliJ and verify error message. So, so first I think, so if you want to see the error message, first I want to see how you can find driver dot find element. Find element will be finding, right? But now I'm not finding exactly element now. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to page source internally. You see that get page source, and inside the get page source, I will give this text. So if I okay, so what is page source? So page source means it will be displaying all of this. So my expectation is page source will have this now. And if I can say that, okay, this page source has this line on this page, so my test case is passing, right? So this is my scenario. So get page source is, what is that? Okay. I can declare this is, what is that? Actual. I can say this is a string, actual. error maybe. Error actual. Okay. So this one is now I have to, since I have this text, right? So text will be expected, right? So string error expected. And expected, I will just put and copy this again. This is the text I'm checking inside this script. So this part, anybody did not understand that I just created two variables. So page source is actual, that page source should have this actually error message, and this is actual. This is maybe from your functional specification or technical specification or just requirement document. Now, what I will say, okay, if page source contain this, or if this error message is part of this page source, test case passed, right? So now I can check if I can use assert now. Okay, assert is actually here. I can use it. Assert is basically another comparison. Dot assert dot. You see that assert dot assert true. So this option is not coming. This is part of your test ng. Now I can do one thing. Actually, I can do exactly same thing. For now, I will come back to assert actually when I do test ng. So I'm just checking if this is working. But this one is in actual one will be actually actual error, right? And error expected, right? Instead of expected one. Okay. Anybody did not understand this part? Hello?
No.
Oh, did you understand?
Yes, kind of.
So basically I am saying that, okay, this page source is actual, right? It is coming from here. This is your page source when you run the test case. And now your requirement document says, okay, on this page source, on this page, right? This line should be present. That's the statement. When you type a incorrect user ID or password, this line, this error message should be displaying. So now I'm saying, okay, this page have this error message. If this is true, pass the test case. If this page does not have this error message after click on with invalid user ID password, then test case fail, right? If you don't see any error message after incorrect user ID password, that means test case fail, right? So this is the one that I just wrote. I said this is actual page source and this is expected from your document. And now I'm saying if actual page have this error message, pass the test case. Otherwise, fail the test case. So this logic you understood now?
Yes.
Okay, if I run this, so if I see the message that test case passed, or I can just simply write here error validation passed, error validation failed. Now run this. Everybody can see? It passed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so far we are in step 7, right? And step 7. So far we passed till step 7. So now I will check forget password. So if there is a forget password, that means I will click on this forget password basically. So you can actually do this thing differently also. First, step 8, right? Verify forget password link is present. Is present. And click on forget password. So first you will check forget password link is present, means here, right? This link is present or not. This is first verification. Because according to design document, right? You should have this link. And now if this is present, click on this, right? So first check if this is present or not. So if I so since this is a link, right? Remember we said there is a link text option for, if you go to inspect. Okay, this is the interview question I explained last time. How you know this is a link? Okay, I think I'm sure you may probably forgot. You see that anchor tag A. Anytime you see anchor tag A, that means this element is a link. Anything, if you just go to another one, I'm checking another one. Use custom domain. You see that this one also have an anchor A. So forget password and anchor both are link. What about privacy? You see that on the bottom there is a privacy. Check this one. Privacy. This one also a link. You see that A anchor? So everybody can see, right, how you can differentiate, okay, if this is a link or not. So now my goal is check the forget password, right? So,
It's always, I'm sorry, it's always at the beginning of the line, or it can be in the middle too.
so this is a block, right? Block of code here. You see that? For forget password, right? This block start with anchor A. You see that A?
Yes.
So this will be link. So anytime you see some web element is, for example, if you go here, if I type, for example, if I type panda, those are picture, right? So if I type panda and now if I just, for example, go there or actually open this. If I go there, inspect, what it says the Wikipedia link is A, you see that? But what is that? This is a picture, right? Picture is
Yeah.
image. That block start with img image. In the future classes, you will see how to figure out if your page has 10 image or 10 link or 20 link, right? How to automate link, how to automate pictures, how many pictures image are there. You see that you will be figuring out this tag. Now, if you see last class, locator concept, right? You see that is the number 8 is tag name. In the future classes, we have to figure out number of link, number of images, this type of thing using this type of tag. Anchor, image. You see that image, anchor image? You will use those in the future classes also. Like for example, you are going to walmart.com. Walmart. You going to walmart.com. Now, how you know that how many links are here? How you know that how many links are in the bottom? You see that each of them, right? They are linked. If you click on all departments, you will see a different page. If you see career, you will see a different page. You see that all of them are linked, right? How you know those? So if you want to see this stuff, for example, if you just go right click, inspect, you see that all of them are linked. So right? So if some of you test case want to check, okay, verify that this is called footer. A page has a footer. This is called footer, right? So this footer section has 20 different link. How you can see that? If you go to there, right? And if you inspect, you see that using tag. What is the parent of this A? Li, right? So all you have to check in Li, how many Li is there? You have to just count. And how you can count? Remember we did something like for loop. We will come to for loop again. For Li, how many is there? Like you will you'll find this. And another option you'll find driver dot, you see that find element right now. And in the future classes, we'll go to find elements, right? When you want to find more than one, you will select web elements. And in the web elements, all the Li will come inside the web elements as a list, right? Array. Remember we checked array list, array when you have more than one. So there are a lot of concept you still have to learn, right? Like when you work with web element and work with web pages. So right now, I'm just simply automating. We are like right now we are practicing simple pages, right? So we'll go to little complex pages maybe next class or future classes. So as part of your QA task, right? Not all the time you will have simple pages. Sometimes you will have simple page. Sometimes you have to work with complex pages, and you will also find Actually going back again. Actually like this. When you search, when you drop down, right? You see the drop down. You have to work with drop down also. Recently accessed. You see the drop down. Categories, right? There are a lot of drop down, right? You see that? A lot of drop down. So you have to work with drop down. What else you have to work with? Sometimes you have to work with, like if I go to priceline.com, actually go to different screen. So if I go to priceline.com, I'm just explaining a lot of things because this type of pages you have to do this in the future. So if I go to priceline.com, flights, for example, you see that all of these boxes drop down, calendar, right? You see that check box. This is not simple, just like write something and uh, click. There is a lot of dependencies, right? You have too many options, too many scenarios. You can check a flight for single one way. You can check a flight for round trip. You can check a flight for multi-destination, right? So now if you check a round trip or you can check a one way, your options should be changed, right? You see that? When you check round trip, you have several options. When you have only one way, you have limited option, right? Multi-destination, we have extra layer, right? You see that the UI changes, the design changing, all of them you have to automate, right? So before automation, right, before actually you do this type of thing, you have to know how to, like for example, go to this type of thing. For example, if I type JFK, now there are two options of JFK, right, that matches JFK. So you have to check, okay, there is two options or not. So you see two options, but in the test running option, you see five options. Where are other three? Like those are problem, right? So that means if you start with New York, for example, you see that you have New York City. So now if you start from New York City, you have so many options. There are some other websites will be saying, okay, these countries you can only go. So if I type like Dallas, you see that? So you have to check if you type Dallas, how many options should display? Or you see that there is a drop down. Is that business class, first class, or economy? There's four different, right? There is a calendar, right? Now, how you gonna select if current month versus future month? You want to buy a ticket for your one of the vacation in like September. Um, you have to select, right? So those all of these you have to run. So those are sometimes complex. Like calendar is sometimes you have to do loops. You remember for loop? When you select calendar, any date, you have to use for loop. Otherwise, you cannot figure it out. So you have to give for loop or like while loop, something like that, right? Like some kind of loop you have to use. And then you have to find, okay, select day number 29 when it displays September 23, not September 22 or not September 2024. You see that this for loop with condition, for loop with condition. So, but you will see that little later, not today, because this is kind of complex scenario that you will be facing in the future, right? Okay, so go back to our original simple website for now. So what we are doing, we are checking if forget your password is present or not, and then click on this forget password. So you already saw this is a link. We already saw, okay, how you saw. There is a anchor tag, right? And whenever it is a link, you have two options. Means you have several options. You can use the XPath also, but related to link, you have link text and partial link text. Both should be working. Let's see what I can use. Okay. So first, check with, you can actually check also ID if there is ID present, right? I can see everything is present here, right? I can see, is there ID present? No. So there is no ID. So that's okay. So we can use yeah, we can use actually link text or partial link text. Another thing we can do, okay, no. First check link text or partial link text if it works or not. Forget your password, right? This is your text. So this one, okay. So far verify, okay. Check. Actually, this I'm just writing this. Forget. Okay, so now we'll do this. And going back, this is our text that we should be checking it. Okay, so let me write driver dot find element. Dot find element, then by, you see that by link text or partial link text. I'm just simply writing so now if it is present, then dot click, right? So this is the option. So now you can check this if it is working or not. Let me comment it out this close. I want to check if it clicks or not. Okay, you see that it clicks and it landed to forget password page, right? Now what happens if okay, so it is working. It is working. So now I can uncheck uncommented this close. So what is the next step? Next step is click on the video link. Okay. So if you click on the video link, or actually before you click on the video link, right, you have to make sure you are in the correct page. Actually, I forgot. Should be step. I missed that one step actually. So you have to validate that, okay, you are in the correct page, right? After, oh no, I didn't miss it. It is there. Okay, here, right? Verify you are on forget password page. So how you can do that? So you can just simply get the title first, right? And you have to make sure that this title is correct. How you can do that now? So to get the title, what is the command? Can somebody tell me?
What's the question? Sorry.
So I'm saying now I am in this page and I want to check the title of this page. What will be the command I should use? Driver.get title, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So I can simply write, okay, system dot out dot println, right? And inside that, I can simply write, okay, I am on the right page. Just something. I am on the forget password help page. Okay. And I'm just giving title. And you know that, right? Plus symbol. And then you can just simply write driver dot get title. So now this get title, right? You can do exactly same thing again, like this, whatever we did before. I can do exactly same thing here also. Okay, first run this. Just first see if I see the title or not. Okay. So you see that this one, the test case is passing, right? So I can do expected forget password page. So I'm just writing actual password. Okay. So I'm just doing exactly same thing that we did before, right? So here you have to just change the variable name because I just copied the other one, right? exp, you see that expected forget password page, and then actual forget password page. So now if I run this, it should be so this part, everybody understood what I just did? I'm just doing same verification that, okay, we are on right page for forgot password. If I run this, you will see you see that test case passed because the title is matching with expected. Now, what is the next step? So this step is done, like step 8, I think, right? Okay. Forget. No, actually, we are done with step 9. So what is step 10? So verify a video link is present at the bottom of the screen, right? So okay. So video link is present or not. Now you have to check if video link is present or not. So same thing. So I can do now. We can again do same thing like link or link text, right? Go back to the page. This is the video link. You see that? Actually, okay. So this is also a link, right? A start with A, and first we can see if this is present or not, right? And we did similar stuff before also, right? And how we did before similar stuff. If you go there, right? Same thing, right? We will have some expected and then actual. First, yeah. Let me copy this one again. We'll be just following exactly same thing. So I'm saying video link. Video link. Actually, I'm just writing VL. Video link, actual. And video link, expected. Okay, so these two. So now this link is we have to just check this need help. Okay, this one, right? Okay, so now I'm just VL actual, right? You see that VL actual? Same thing here. VL expected. Okay, so now you can change a little bit here. Video link is present, for example. Present. And you can say video link is not present, just simply copy and paste. Okay, actually there is missing V. Okay, so if I run this, what is the expectation? My expectation is video link is present. So this is the expectation. So first run this. Okay, so far test case is passing every single point, right? We are trying to check they're passing. Video link is present. So now, since video link is present, I will let me let me connect my charger. Actually, charger is little low. Okay, so I connected my charger. Okay, so all the points are so far passing. And now, since video link is present, now click on the video link, right? That's the next option. So step 10 is done. Click on video link, step 11. So how you can click? So you already have link text, right? So you can use exactly same thing, driver dot find element, and then with the link text, and then dot click. So driver dot find elements, and by, you see that we already have this setup, right? I just need to just copy this one. And then dot click. Run this, make sure if it is opening. Okay, it clicked. So 11, I think, is done, right? Step 11 is done. Verify the video link title. So now you have to verify the video link title. So what is that title actually? If you click on this, if you click on this, right? Now you have to make sure this title is present, right? Right click, inspect. So for title, right? How can I find the title? There is a name, there is a class video title, need help, right? So we can actually use, this is the text, right? We can use text. So probably we can use some kind of XPath concept here. So first, let me just actually verify the video link title. So this is our next step. So verify the video link title, and we can check. Okay, similar stuff we'll be using, like similar like this command, right? See. So video title, actual, and I'll also write video title, expected. So video title actual is this one, right? Need help logging in. Need help logging in. So this will be so now if I run this, will it work? Video title actual. Same thing here. Video title expected. Okay, so video title is visible, is present, or I can say like visible. Is not visible. So if I run this, let me check if it works or not. Okay, so this is okay. So this is good. So you see that it is page source, right? So you can also use this. Let me try other option to check this title, video title. And I told you there are some locators concept like custom XPath, right? With the text. Last class, we said custom XPath with text. And how can we do that? Let me check. So far we did page source option, but I want to check with differently. Control F. Inspect. Okay, so now you see that this is the place where I can check if this is unique or not, right? Using XPath concept. So since I have a text, I can see there is a text available. So now I will just simply use that concept with text. And okay, so for example, what is the HTML tag here? H1, right? So I can say double slash, right? And then H1 You see that it's already present as a one-on-one, just simply one-on-one H1. It's already unique, but you can make it more unique. If, for example, right now this is unique, but for example, it says 1 of 3, right? Or 1 of 5. So what you can do more? So you can do more is something like that. If you follow the concept from last class, square bracket. You will give square bracket, and inside the square bracket, there is a function text, T-E-X-T, and then parenthesis, and then equal to the value need help. You see that this is also one-on-one, but in the future, you probably have to use this one because this is a simple page, right? But in your test website, right, probably will not be as simple as this. You probably will not just find with H1. You probably need text. So if you go there, I can do another option like this. Actually, not this one. Just have to copy this. So this is a concept of XPath, customized XPath, basically. If you know some text. So this is, so if, for example, my string video link expected, right? This one. So if I just simply driver dot find element, and then no, not this actually. So yeah, no, actually, you don't have to use that find element here because you are just simply checking that if it is present or not. If you want to click or you want to write something, that find element, this second option is okay. So okay, so this part, okay, let me check what is the last option. Okay. Oh, so we are actually in step 12 and 13, right? So let me run this. So, okay, so my test case passed, and the scenario, your manual steps, everything here, right, are now automated. And you can easily do similar stuff with maybe some other website also, if you want to practice. So now this is a simple Selenium WebDriver test case, right? Now, as I said, there are simple way. This is just simple way to write test cases using Selenium WebDriver, but most of the companies actually are not following this way. They're actually using some kind of framework or model, right? Or framework means the style of writing test cases and executing and reporting everything as a whole. There is a concept and there is a structure. The structural way, another way, there is several ways actually. There is TestNG framework, there are Cucumber framework, there are actually, basically there are two basic type, BDD versus TDD. So we will start actually TDD framework today. TDD will be test-driven framework, and this is TestNG is one of the popular one for TDD. So what is TestNG framework? Let me check. So if you just write TestNG framework, Selenium TestNG framework. Okay. So you can see this is you will be exactly doing same thing that Selenium WebDriver did, but there will be some other options also. So generate report in proper format also. You see that? Plus you can see how many test cases passed, how many test cases failed. And also when we do practice TestNG framework, you see there are different format that different format will be actually organize your test cases, your test, basically from architecture point of view, it will be a little bit different. And in the beginning of the class, right, I said for simple Selenium WebDriver test cases, you need public static void main, right? But when you use some framework like TestNG or Cucumber, BDD framework or Serenity framework, you don't need to write public static void main. Instead of that, you have to just follow the format that each framework has. And inside the format, right, there will be folders. And then folders, you will be writing exactly same test cases. So right now, whatever we are doing, right, this is not page object model. So page object model means that you are writing test cases for each pages, right? For example, if you go to this again, right? Salesforce home screen has one page, login has one page, forget password has one page, maybe video link has one page. But we are not separating any of them in regular WebDriver or regular framework. But when you use page object model, so each page will be separated. We'll be doing this in the future because in real project, when you work, almost everybody use page object concept. Page object concept will be easier to handle from maintenance point of view, because anytime any pages adds any functionality or is any updates, you can just simply go to that page and update the test cases. And also right now, this is not dynamic. Whatever we wrote, right, this is very specific. What is that mean? We did not use any kind of parameter. You see, remember we during the Java, right, practice, we had parameterized method like constructor, right? And we used a lot of other concept using those constructor or this parameter concept or parameterized method. Right now, we are not using any parameter, right? We are just giving straightforward values. Going forward in the future classes, that you will be using this as a parameter. So for example, instead of giving your user name directly here, you will be actually separating another page. There'll be a separate page where all the actions will be available, and another page will have all the parameters, values, and other thing. And like the page object model will be separating with different point of view. Like one page will have only web elements. Another page will have only user action, something like dot click, dot send keys, this type of thing, right? And another page will have your test, means whatever you are testing. So there'll be separation of pages. That's why this is called page object model. And this concept will come from next class. But now I will go to test-ng framework from scratch and the basic of test-ng framework and how it works. So far we have this. Let me clean this, all of this actually. Just keep this thing open. So we'll try to convert this simple WebDriver to test-ng framework actually, and see how it works. Okay, so test-ng framework. So there are several annotation you have to understand. And what are those annotations? If I go back again, test-ng annotations. You see that you will be using these test-ng annotation. So all of these, right, is like a block. It's a simple block, and I'll go to IntelliJ and we'll explain everything. And there are some kind of hierarchy. So hierarchy means orders, right? Then if you use these, like all these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So there are 5 types of block you will be using for test-ng. And this is the test, right? This is the main test you are doing. But if you have anything dependent, like for example, you are testing a browser, you are testing on Chrome browser, you are testing Salesforce, and you are specifically testing login functionality. So maybe login functionality will be coming inside the test. And now, before test, right, you have to go to Chrome browser. This is maybe will be going before test. And you are logging to, you are going to salesforce.com, right? This is maybe going before test. And what you are doing after test? You are closing the browser, right? Maybe that will be after test. So there is a hierarchy when you actually write test cases in test-ng framework. There are a lot of good resources also, like for example, if you go to Java T-Point test-ng tutorial, right? There is all the details are there. What is before suit does, what is the purpose of after suit, what is before test, what is after test, something like that. So, but I will also explain when I start a fresh test-ng framework. So now, so if you check this pom.xml, so right now whatever we did, we used Selenium, right? Regular Selenium WebDriver. But for TestNG framework, there is another dependency for this. So where I got this dependency? If you just simply go to TestNG dependency Maven. So remember, so we did Maven repository before, right? For Selenium. So all you have to do, just go to search TestNG here. So TestNG. And then when you search, there will be options will be there. TestNG. See that TestNG? This one, you see that? And now TestNG has a lot of option. There are a lot of latest thing. So I think from 7, you can just do any of them. So for example, if you click on one of them, you will see dependency here. You see that? Same way that you did for Selenium WebDriver. All you have to do, just copy this part. Just copy this part and go to your pom.xml and paste it here. That only thing I did. That's it. So now, if I start TestNG, I'll be probably just, so instead of main, I'm going to test. So inside the Java, right? I can create another package, TestNG concept. TestNG concept. Right click. So another thing I have to actually explain. In the future classes, right? When you create a Maven project, you will always see 2 folders inside the source. All of your test cases should go inside the test folder. All of your test cases should go inside the test folder. You see that main also have Java, test also have Java. But for our other practice, I did inside the main, right? So this is just the practice purpose. But in real life project, when you go to some company and work as an automation engineer, you will see that you are writing all the test cases, validation inside under test folder. And under test folder inside Java, you will just create a lot of packages depending on your actually, what is that? Project feature and everything, then there will be a lot of packages, right? So for example, today I'm just creating a package, TestNG features. TestNG features. So TestNG features, right? Here, if you go to TestNG features, now inside the TestNG features, you are creating a Java class. It's exactly same thing. When you create a Java class, TestNG concept, maybe you will be the first. NG concept. So TestNG concept, maybe your first class. So inside that class, remember I said you don't need any main method now. So test ng, if you see those, right, before, after this, all of them coming, whenever you say add test, whenever you are writing this, basically those are included with Java main method. And you don't have to write separately Java main method. So what I'm doing now, so as I said, you have a lot of what is that, before suit, after suit. Let me actually write those one by one, then that will be actually easier for next class, because next class I will do complete framework with another website actually. So everything will be written inside, right? So the first one is, this is one, right? So how many total? First check how many total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So there are 10 tags. So these tags are actually annotation. So if you think about now, okay, one. So always in the hierarchy, right? Before suit. So if I say before suit, okay, how you write at, right? At, you see that whenever you write at, all these available annotations will be displaying on the screen. Why this is displaying? Because in the pom.xml, I updated with these dependencies. If these dependencies is not there, you will never see these options. So in hierarchy wise, right? In hierarchy wise, it will be before suit. You see that before suit? This is the first. So you can say how they work. Like, okay, let me go to one. Okay. Okay. Test ng. So those are kind of folder structure actually. Another, again, everything is kind of folder structure. And how it works? It works like this. So, okay, it's kind of wrapper. So before suit, if you think about before suit, so this is before suit. And what is after suit? So inside the suit, it will be so they're coming as a pair actually. So if you just going back, inside the suit, there'll be test. So this is then inside this, you can say this is test. So inside the test, right? If you see this serial, right? There will be class. Super. So inside that will be class, and inside the class will be method, and inside the method, the real test that you are actually testing, you are executing as part of your validation. Okay. So same thing, if you say before, it will be after also. and also after. Okay. So what does that mean? So this is before shoot, before test, before class, before method, and before actual test. So before test. So now, if I write in Selenium, not Selenium, is test-ng framework. Okay, how it will be working? Just show you. So before shoot, and before shoot is now it will be like plain simple Java. There is nothing Selenium at this moment other than this before shoot. Public, remember, then void, then I'm just saying um, something. I have to write some method name. This is like a method name. So method before shoot. Just writing system dot out. Okay, so this. Okay. So this is I'm just giving some example. So now, same thing I'll be doing after shoot. So when you say before shoot, you see that it is coming from test and annotation. It is automatically importing. Now I will do second one, right? At after shoot. So this is a wrapper. So same thing, I will just copy and paste. So same thing. So now, so if you see this picture, right? Where is that? Okay. So if you see this picture, so this is before and this is after. So now I will go back to now before test, after test. So, okay, 3. So at that before test. So same thing now. at after test. So if you see that this is before method, after method. Before test, after test. Okay. Actually, 1 second. I'm probably just duplicating everything. Okay. I'm just starting with before test and after test. Let me check. Okay. Before test. Okay. So ng check. Did I? Oh, oh. Actually, I can check. Just show you here. Mhm. Really, just deleting this. Okay, so just simply just using this format. So what is at the test? So remember we did Salesforce testing, right? A lot of validation we did internally, check this page, this page, this page. But after the test, we always close the browser, right? So similar thing when you go to test ng concept, right? This after test will be close the browser, for example. And what you do before test. So if you go to this one, right? What we did before test. So before test, basically, we log into Google Chrome. We go to Google Chrome and type salesforce.com. Now, if you just go to this one is before test. You see that I'm just changing the format now. So before we actually wrote everything one after one, just sequential order. This is good, but there is, as I said, right? Two things, you always have to use public static void main. And second, when you run the test case, you cannot see how many test cases pass or fail. There is no reporting option, nothing, right? So since there is no reporting option, so you cannot actually create a report and share with the team, share your manager, or if, for example, if your product owner want to see the regression report, you cannot actually share anything because there is no report. But TestNG actually will create a report and will display on screen also. So now at the test, what we did, all the validations, right? All the validation from here. So, okay, so at test, so now I can just simply, so there is only one test at this moment. But now, as I said, you can actually check each of these, um, validation as a separate at test, and it will be displaying here the number of test cases. So since there is only one at test, right? At test is only one. So all you have to do, just run. So you see that now there is a nice reporting. Total tests run 1, passed 1, failure 1, skip 0. Also, you can clearly see test case passed 1. So the format is changed now. So what we'll do, so at this moment, you can test other website also using same at test format. So as I said, if you have multiple tests, for example, now I'm thinking that, okay, I will go to, what is that? Okay, I will break it down and make it multiple test. So let me go to, okay, create another hierarchy one. Test changing feature, Java class. Priority. So how it works actually, let me just copying everything. Deleting everything from the middle. I'll show you what I'm doing. Just 1 second. So yeah. So I want to show you that when you have multiple tests, right? What is the hierarchy? Like which test runs first or which test runs second, something like that. This is sometimes an interview question. Um, yeah, okay. So just so so everybody can see this is now just sample of 4 tests. This is nothing inside. I'm just showing you that how this is ran. There are total of 4 tests at test, right? 1, 2, 4, right? Now, if you want to see how it ran, this is actually the spelling is okay. It will be TST. Okay. Okay. So this is test 1, 3, 2, 4. So why this is not came as serially? Serial is not 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the interview question actually. So the interview question that how, when you have multiple test cases, right? How it will be ran, like which order? You see that it will be based on your method name order. Your method, right? For test case number 1, right? Your method says 1. So it came as 1. But you see that number, this is test case method says 3, but test case number 3 said method 2, right? So whichever is 2, that actually ran after that. Everybody can see, right? Everybody can see the order based on the method name. So test case will run based on the method name. So this is how it works. And also, if you see that before test came first and after test came last. So this is also order, always before always run first, after always run last. So this is another one. And if I add, right, before test, right? So if I add before method, so there is another interview question. So I have add, okay, after. So wherever you writing, it does not matter. So if you write here test 1 and here test 5, it will always run test 1 from here. It does not matter that, okay, you are writing, even you write, for example, after test, moving from here to on the top, it will still work same way. So I'm moving this after test, right? I'm putting after test even before test, everything. It will still work. After test always come at the last. You see that? One second. Test, test, before test. Okay. One test case. Oh, this is one test. Okay, no, it's good. Okay, so now I want to actually introduce another one, before method and after method. So before method, this one. And another one, after method. So it will be similar like this. And same thing. Okay, so this one also another interview question. How before method and after method works. So right now, all the tests, right, have methods and they ran 4 times. So if I run now, you see that how many times it ran? For every method in the test, there are a total of 4 tests, right? For every method in the test, before test will run always first. But for every test, the method will be running first and after method will be running second. So there will be another wrapper. So test 1 will run again with before method and after method. Test 2 will run again with before method and after method. So before method and after method will always run before and after for any method you are running for the test. That's the interview question. So anybody like have any confusion here? The hierarchy? So first one, I showed you that, okay, method name, right? The test case will be run based on method name, alphabetical order. And second, if you have method before and after method, so they will be also running for each of the test method separately. Test case will be still 4, but method will be run separately for each method. Hello? Guys, you are confused or just, can you confirm me you are understanding or not?
Yeah, I'm following along.
Okay, because for next class, I will show this everything with another website, and also I will start page object model. So just want to make sure that, okay, that you guys are understanding correctly. Okay, so I think I will actually stop here. And let me go to Udemy course first. Okay. So all of you have access to Udemy, right? Right now, I provided user ID and password. So you can start one of these course, as I said, for practice purpose. Each of these course actually followed exactly same thing. And also you can, as I said, Pavan Kumar as that YouTube, okay. Playlist and test and he explained a lot of details. You see that test ng with IntelliJ. This one.
A lot of people don't.
This one actually have 11 total video, right? You see that? So I would suggest, if you don't want to follow Udemy, then at least follow one of this video. Since right now we are using TestNG, just follow. This is short videos actually, 13 minutes, 15 minutes, 24 minutes, right? So those are not like long videos, but you can actually practice with those. But for practice purpose, right? Udemy is always better because this one is complete automation. If you want to, for example, check this one, right? You see that how many classes is there? This is like 54 hours, right? You don't have to maybe complete 54 hours. It's like if you can complete half, it will be good enough. So Selenium WebDriver with Java Basic to Advanced, right? And framework. So far, we are doing kind of WebDriver basic. Java is kind of done, basic Java, and basic WebDriver is done, right? We still have several topics. Like, for example, I showed you drop down. You have to know how to automate with drop down, how to automate calendars, right? How to automate multiple links, right? Check boxes. Those you have to know first, and then you have to use those for different type of application, like website, right? You can check, you can test some other website also. If you follow these type of videos, they already have their own websites for test websites. And I can also actually give you several websites. Like I think I have like 10 test websites that you can practice. I will share those, actually, those 10 websites. And start from the beginning, actually. Start from the beginning. Some of these beginning stuff, maybe you already, like, for example, Selenium introduction, right? So few stuff informational. You can still watch those, just even though those are informational, it will be helpful from your knowledge point of view, interview point of view. Java basic, probably a lot of them you already have idea. Now brush up, you see that brush up Java concept. This is like 1 hour and 26 minutes. I would suggest just check and brush up the Selenium, the Java concept again, because a lot of thing will be actually, you have to practice with Java concept. Actually, Selenium will be just like a layer, but the fundamental will be Java, actually. If you want to skip section 4 for now, it's okay, but at least do section 3. And you see that section 5, locators, techniques, tools, right? Start from locators, section 5. Start from section 5. And if you start from section 5 and just try to complete couple of sections, that will be the ultimate goal. Because for interview point of view, when you just go for job market, framework is one of the things that you have to know. But even though you know the framework, right? You see that this is a framework for TestNG framework, right? So TestNG framework, you just followed the formation, right? Like format, TestNG format, but internally, right? Code are exactly same Selenium WebDriver with Java. Even though the format is little different, you are just using format at test, at method, something like that. But internally, when you write the code, right, it will be exactly same for all the framework. So that's why is framework learning is easier when you know how to write Selenium code first, actually. Like how to automate one website, just simple, with simple Selenium WebDriver concept. Like if you don't know how to like how to figure out link text or links, a number of links or number of drop down, the framework will not work, right? So you have to know those basic first. So that's why I would suggest go to Udemy, check one of the course. Don't practice multiple course, like 4 or 5 course at a time. Check only like start only one course at a time. as I said, these two exactly same, two different instructor. You can just go to preview whoever's like voice or speaking style you like, just follow them. Exactly same course. One is Rahul Arora, one is Rahul Shetty, right? So you don't have to follow both. Just select one of them and start practicing. Any question from anybody else?
No.
Yeah, I thank you. So I think at this moment, just try to practice as much as possible. But if you have any question, just ask. Either you can text me or beginning of next class or during the class, or you can send to the group also, WhatsApp group, if you have any inquiry. And I will send a couple of test website where you can start practicing also. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So I'll talk to you soon.